day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia, mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue, sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana, sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea, sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy, I swear I drive you crazy. Consistent, consistency, consistent, consistently, consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day, day, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistent, consistently.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
This party don't stop. This party don't stop. This party don't stop. This party don't stop.
Here we go. See, I'm loving what you do to me, so if it's cool, let me know. We can take it to the VIP because the party don't stop till 3. Meaning you're in the crib all over me. CIBTRIPPER, and we are CAMP to the moolah. We blow this bazooka. It's crazy, baby, how I'm on you like Slim to shit it. So let me see your head bob, cause this party don't stop.
Cause tonight, you better bring somebody to the club. To the club. Cause tonight, we're calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on.
Let me give your body a job, employ a new technique. Work it, rock it like a cradle in bed, I need a free. Wait a minute, let me clarify. The way you maneuver, I can't deny. So scream from the top of your lungs and maybe I'll pacify ya. Take over, my baby, it ain't over. No fat lady, navigate to the floor, make your way. Dilate, give me more A-OK. It ain't fair, the way you're shaking it and moving it, baby. Make them stare, step up in the building, everybody and go up. Then it's it.
You better bring somebody to the club. To the club. Cause tonight, we're calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on. So get your hands up.
Get ready to party on the dance floor, jamming till 6 in the morning.
So get your drinks up.
Don't spill on nobody. Hit the bar, get some girls, cause the bottles we poppin'. But I'm a little bit too bubbly, so all the ladies look lovely, but can't tell if they ugly, cause someone get these girls off of me. Meet me by the bar, baby girl, round free now, let's go get some shots. Drink up, cause you know the party don't stop.
Tonight, you better bring somebody to the club. To the club. Cause tonight, we calling everybody, so get up. Alright. This party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and this party don't stop. Don't stop. This party don't stop. It goes on and on. Don't stop. It goes on and on. Don't stop. It goes on and on.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A very good morning, Friday morning. The Party Don't Stop by Kampmula, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. Welcome to the Power Morning Drive Show. Asanteni sana for whoever is tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we will be sure to let the people know, and we will be sure to also engage you. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are at Power Radio across TikTok. We are on X. We are on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find us on our YouTube channel, that is at Power Radio, and on our website www.power254.org/Power Radio. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Let's get into some music, and when we come back, we get into the day's news headlines, and we also check some traffic updates so that we can inform you on some routes, wherever you need to stop going into, or wherever you need to redirect. We will be sure to inform you on that. This is Power Radio. See you after the break.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tafakari vita vya juzi, sikupenda kwangu kukudhi, ila tu ujana haubagui. Dada panguza chozi, sijitie lawama kwa uzushi, kwani vita kati ya mandugu si ya Firauni. Wakati hauniruhusu mimi kurekebisha yangu madhambi, kwa hivyo naomba siku hii nikumbukie mazuri. Nataka mcheke siku ya mwisho, usiwe mpweke, mimi bado niko na mshukuru Mola kwa kuwepo. Nasema amina, 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 amina. Oh mpenzi, panguza chozi, sijijaze chuki wewe moyoni, hasara yote ya Mwenyezi. Oh rafiki, panguza chozi, sijumize we kichwa na maswali, utazame sana kwenda bila mkono wa buriani. Wakati hauniruhusu mimi kurekebisha yangu madhambi, kwa hivyo naomba siku hii nikumbukie mazuri. Nataka mcheke siku ya mwisho, usiwe mpweke, mimi bado niko na mshukuru Mola kwa kuwepo. Nasema amina, 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 amina. Oh, sina nafasi nyingine ya kuwa na wewe. Nasikitika, minaumia, lakini nina shukrani moyoni ya kuwa miongoni mwa walonienzi mimi. Wakati hauniruhusu mimi kurekebisha yangu madhambi, kwa hivyo naomba siku hii nikumbukie mazuri. Nataka mcheke siku ya mwisho, usiwe mpweke, mimi bado niko na mshukuru Mola kwa kuwepo. Nasema amina, amina.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hello. Welcome to the Power Morning Drive Show. That is Amina by the ever so talented, ever so beautiful Sanaipe Itande, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. Now, let's get into some traffic updates. If you're along Thika Road, kama kawaida, the traffic starts up there from KCA University all the way down to Pangani. It's a red zone. If you can avoid, please do so. I can also see from Kiambu Road, from, let's see, where is this? Muthaiga, all the way up till Pale Pangani, the entrance of Thika Road. It's also a red zone, so if you can avoid it as well, please do so. Limuru Road, I can see we are moving, but mambo imesongamana kidogo pale from Aga Khan Hospital going into Parklands as well. It's a red zone. It's a red zone as well. Otherwise, if you're along Wayaki Way, things are moving. From Movenpick Hotel, I can see on the other side of Westlands, Mukosawa pale, at least hakuna msongamano sana. Spring Valley, Loakabete, we are doing well. I can also see that Ngong Road is a little bit squeezed, but moving as well. In case of any accidents or incidents, kindly let us know. You can get us on our social media handles at Power Radios. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Yes, and we will be sure to reroute you if need be. Now, yesterday the budget was read, and every paper, literally every paper in today's in the dailies today, we are just going to be seeing a lot of analysis on what the budget was read. So of course, the National Treasury and Economic Planning Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndung'u was able to give the reading of the budget. And let's start with, I can see on the cover page, on the Standard. It reads Budget's Bitter Pill. So this year's budget, 2024-2025, got to 3.9 trillion Kenyan shillings. Among this, we can look at what the Standard has broken down. So we have some winners and some losers. Let's start with the winners. Retirees, new pension for retirees. Contribution limit up from 20,000 a month to a pension benefits to be exempt from tax, and it goes all the way till 30,000 Kenya shillings. We also have employers, 5% tax-free per DM rate amended from a daily 2,000 shillings maximum to amount not more than 5% monthly gross earnings. We also have public workers, money paid as reimbursements of expenditure incurred in the course of duty exempted from tax. We have boda riders, motorcycles have been exempted from excise duty. National intelligence supplies made to the NIS exempted from value-added tax. Green energy farms, solar and wind power projects already underway will be exempt from VAT. SMEs VAT registration threshold increased from 5 million to 8 million Kenya shillings. Then we have some losers here. Now, gamblers have been taxes. I can't mention them. 20% excise duty up from 12.5%. Telecommunications, 10%. Spectrum licenses will be eligible for 10% investment allowance. Influencers, all the TikTokers, my God, 20% advertising fees charged through the internet and social media, subject to 20% excise tax. We also have manufacturers, eco levy on certain goods manufactured in or imported into Kenya. Motorists, 2.5%. Motor vehicle tax set at 2.5% of the value of the vehicle with a floor of 5,000 shillings. Foreign farms, minimum top-up tax of 15% to be paid by foreign firms. Then mobile phone users, 20% excise duty on mobile and internet services up from 15 to 20%. And foreign workers, new significance, economic presence tax at 30% of taxable profits. So, of course, this comes amid the chaos ahead of the finance bill. We have seen a lot of leaders coming out and, condemning the finance bill. Yesterday, Martha Karua was able to stand up to government and say that it's not this is really punitive. And so we can't wait to see how everything goes on when it comes to the finance bill and everything that the budgetary allocations have catered to. When I come back, I will continue with the day's news. But first, let's get into some music. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Mwanzo nilimwambia akifika tu Nairobi kuna manzi wengi asishangae. Tena nikamwambia hata siku akirudi kila mtu ajue mimi niko naye.
Mtoto mzuri niko naye, nampenda leo kesho na baadaye. Nimwambie nini mpaka afurahi kuwa niko naye. Mzuri hips don't lie, nipende nikupende mpaka washangae. Japo niko ndani nitakuja baadaye nipende furahi. Natamani urudi tuje kuishi wote Dar es Salaam. Nahisi kuchanganyikiwa kwa huyo binti wa Nairobi, nachohitaji kuishi naye.
Jana mzuri niko naye, nampenda leo kesho na baadaye. Hata waseme nitadumu naye, ufanya nifurahi. Ana tabia nzuri, he don't lie. Kwa penzi lake mpaka nazirai. Kabla hajafika mimi nishawahi kweli najidai.
Wasikurubuni hao washikanao, ukanidharau, ukanisahau, sitakubali no no no. Basi come now, sikuje nao, wasikurubuni hao washikanao, ukanidharau, ukanisahau, sitakubali no no no. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia.
Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia, saizi liona na sikufuatilia, jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa,
umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
uko sure ndo mwenye unataka, uko sure
Ni sawa,
uko sure unaweza sema with your chest, uko sure
but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ni sawa, ni sawa.
Nomba on your wedding day, stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ring isitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaye kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona, unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy wena, wependa kenye unapenda, imeenda.
Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa,
Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka, uko sure
ni sawa,
uko sure unaweza sema with your chest, uko sure
but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
All right, welcome back to Power Morning Drive Show on Power Radio. On our international news roundup now, South Africa has just completed their elections, and so South Africa's parliament is due to elect a president on Friday, and major political parties are still ironing out the final details of a coalition deal that may or may not allow incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa to return for a second term as president. Most industrialized economy in Africa, that's South Africa. Mr. Ramaphosa's party, the ANC, the African National Congress, said it would hold a meeting of its top officials in Cape Town on Thursday evening, just 12 hours before Parliament meets in the city and begins the process. South Africa has been in a political impasse since the ANC lost its 30-year majority in an election 2 weeks ago, forcing it to reach out to the other parties to find some form of agreement in order to co-govern for the first time. The ANC's priority is to re-elect Mr. Ramaphosa, but it will need help from other lawmakers as it no longer has a parliamentary majority. All right, that marks the end of our news roundup. When we come back, today we are discussing the role of youth in harnessing peace building and conflict resolution, as well as security processes. What happens when the youth are involved in negotiation tables, and how can we do and what can we do to ensure that more of them are involved in these negotiations. So stay tuned, and we will see you when our guests come and we get to our conversation for today. This is Power Radio.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Classic music.
Nobody loves you the way that I do. Nobody can love you the way that I do, yeah. Maybe nobody loves me the way that you do. Nobody can love you the way that I do.
Ukisikia nafunga ndoa, marry you. Menisafisha madoa, niko wingu la blue. I'm gonna stick with you for wherever I'm coming through. Mambo yakienda mbaya, I'm gonna keep you cool. Kama ulisafa sahau, karibu sapa. Kwa bahati nzuri mapenzi yanaishi hapa. Sikio umenipata, sina matata. Jisifie wakapendeza, takwa cash mkononi kwenye mahitaji. Takupenda moyoni nikupe nafasi. Takwa rambo rindoni vita maji maji. Sitokutenda kutenga, sitokujaji.
Naomba sana, naomba dua, nisije zingua. Nobody watasema sana, wataongea, wazidi umbea. Nobody. Oh, and I know, 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 you're the one for my heart and soul. Nobody can love me the way that you do. Nobody can love me the way that you do.
Nobody love me the way that you do. Nobody can love you better than I do. Nobody shows me the way that you do. Nobody do me the thing that you do. Maujanja, nampa, mauninja kumfu. Anaruka, nainuka, nanguka pu. Nanipa, winja, warem tu. Honey, sugar, ginger, my boo. Sauti akiongea tu mashallah, mguu akitembea mwendo wa billions. Dala kama kajiongezea shape, bala kajipendelea mpaka kara. Sauti akiongea tu mashallah, mguu akitembea mwendo wa billions. Na akikusogelea bala. Sasa akikuchekea du.
Naomba sana, naomba dua, nisije zingua. Nobody. Watasema sana, wataongea, wazidi umbea. Nobody. Oh, and I know, 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 you're the one for my heart and soul. Nobody can love me the way that you do. Nobody can love me the way that you do. Nobody love me the way that you do. Nobody can love you better than I do.
Nobody love me the way that you do. Nobody can love you better than I do.
Nobody loves you the way that I do. Nobody can love
Power
you the way
Radio.
that I do.
Tune in and power up.
Cool boy.
Now call me Flip Boss. I know you like me, I know you feel me. I know you want a life around me. I know you love me, and I love you too, baby. I know you like me, I know you feel me. So let me put a ring on your finger. I know you love me, and I love you too, baby. Me say prevent, bang, I'm loving your outing. Njanja na kita, kigingi simga. God just know that it's nothing. Rather ya mapenzi in the trusting woman. She be my woman. She be my woman. She be my woman, 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 woman. She be my woman, woman, woman. Ring, ring, ding, ding, ring the alarm. I know I'm late, but I'm still coming. Sing, sing along my name, baby. Yeah, true love do exist, and that's what I'm getting from my queen. And I know they gonna say it's not real. This time we're gonna make them free. I say bang, bang, I'm loving your outing. Njanja na kita kigingi simga. God just know that it's nothing. Rather I am a pains and a trusting woman, woman, woman. She be my woman, 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 woman. She be my woman, 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 woman. She be my woman, 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 woman. She be my woman. Oh, no, no. She be. I know you love me, I know you like me. Baby, I know you want me, so let me put a ring on your finger. Eh. I say woman, woman, woman. Woman, woman, woman. Hey, woman.
Brigadier, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man?
Nacha, wamemchokoza bell. It's a 254 plus 255. Yasubinda na mbanyo, baby. You know how we do, man. Kwanza kabisa napiga goti kabla kila kitu, ni kwa jina la Mungu Baba Roho Mtakatifu. Ameshika wazifa na kufika takidato, kipato dhambi kula jasho la wavuja jasho, sini wajinga sisi. Ghafla kageuka wasaliti wakakikalia kiti, japo mimi ndo mwenye kiti. Kweli kazi kupata kazi ni rushwa, kichwani tuna kipara na wanafosi kutusuka. Samaki mnanitupa kwenye maji, hii ni hatari, vita ya wakulima na wafugaji. Acheni usaliti, mali kumiliki zisizo zalali na ni nguvu za wananchi. Mjukuu wa Nyerere, jasiri kama Mugabe, uongozi ni dhamana bwana, kata za ubabe. Nasema truth, walai so uongo, hii kolabo ya Kenya imekutana na Bongo. Punguza lafi wa madaraka, Kenya na Bongo menipata Hizi ni sauti za mamlaka na bila shaka mtazelewa mtazipata.
Punguza lafa madaraka, Kenya na Bongo menipata Hizi ni sauti za wajomba na bila shaka mtazelewa mtazipata. Ngia mlipiga hodi kuondoka kiwiziwizi, bunge milango mkafunga mkasema eti mko busy. Wananchi waliwauliza mkadai bado mpukazi, kiukweli mlikuwa mnashiba mkalala pia usingizi. Ni kadhaa tumechezwa na bwana Chesa, maskini polisi musika pia amekufa ghafla, mwanake sasa yatima na mama pia amefiwa. Nane tamlinda mwanawe na nane tamlisha bibi, kesi imemhusisha kiongozi mkuu naibu rais. Je, koti itatenda haki ama kesi itairishwa? Hivi tumewatechunga na bado lipe bilioni? Mbona siasa za leo lazima binadamu wawe? Ama ndo siku za mwisho Mola waokoe wanawe? Mola mlaze pema peponi yule bwana Nkaseri, waliotunywa kwa chupa msidhani tumesahau, ila pokea pole zangu na wote walio na msiba.
Punguza lafi wa madaraka, Kenya na Bongo menipata Hizi ni sauti za mamlaka na bila shaka mtazelewa mtazipata.
Punguza lafa madaraka, Kenya na Bongo menipata Hizi ni sauti za wajomba na bila shaka mtazelewa mtazipata.
Ulafi wa madaraka, uongozi wa sifa, uongozi wa tension, uongozi wa insta. Hii ni nguvu ya Mungu, so nguvu za giza. Hatupati maumivu mana mnang'ata mnapuliza.
Ni kweli tunapitia magumu kihalisia, na wao kuvuna shamba ila wakupalilia. Mazao imekuwa yao na zao kifamilia, washezi madarakani ujinga kwenye siasa.
Next spot demo ndani ya demokrasia, simrivoti mnacheka sahihi mbona mnalia? Wao wameshiba tilisto angetugawia, si tumeshinda tunalia na tumeshinda njaa pia.
Nafahamisha waelimisha hivi mtani tarabia, kitendeka kesho kutwa pia mtani tanabii. Na leo hii ndoto yangu kuwa kioo cha jamii, shatimia waziwazi ya mie kuwa msanii.
Punguza lafi wa madaraka,
mtazilipata Hizi ni sauti za mamlaka na bila shaka mtazielewa mtazipata.
Punguza life wa madaraka, Kenya na Bongo mmenipata Hizi ni sauti za wajomba na bila shaka mtazielewa mtazipata.
Let's take over the game.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Nataka nikucheki from every angle, nikunje kichwa hadi nivunje shingo. There's something about you.
There's something about you.
Nilikupenda tangu kitambo, njoo nishow kama bado uko single. There's something about you.
There's something about you.
Napenda navyo dance, napenda navyo flex, unafanya mimi naslekisha. Vile mimi nakucheki, bonge la mtesi, maze unanidedisha. Napenda navyo dance, napenda navyo flex, unafanya mimi naslekisha. Vile mimi nakucheki, bonge la mtesi, maze unanidedisha. So back it up, oh, baby, baby, back it up, baby, baby, back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around, swing and turn around. So back it up, oh, baby, baby, back it up, baby, baby, back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around, swing and turn around.
Ume donjo, baby baby kama chapo dondo, kalongo longo, tucheze hadi tupate watoto, tupige foto, tukiwa msoto, isiwe ndoto, siku moja tutakuwa tumasaka. Napenda navo dance, napenda navo flex, unafanya mimi nasikisha. Kile mimi nakucheki, bonge la mtesi, manze unanidedisha. Napenda navo dance, napenda navo flex, unafanya mimi nasikisha. Kile mimi nakucheki, bonge la mtesi, manze unanidedisha. So back it up, baby baby back it up, baby baby back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around. So back it up, baby baby back it up, baby baby back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around.
So back it up, oh, baby, baby, back it up, baby, baby, back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around, swing and turn around. So back it up, oh, baby, baby, back it up, baby, baby, back it up, then turn around, swing and turn around, swing and turn around.
Turn around, baby, baby, do it again, do it again. When it comes to the moves, girl, you on the roll. You paka chini, girl, you beautiful. The way that you move, irresistible. When it comes to the moves, girl, you on the roll. You paka chini, girl, you beautiful. The way that you move, irresistible. Irresistible.
Turn around, oh, baby, 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 do it again, do it again, yeah.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
A very good morning. We back it up by Nameless, and it's playing right here on the Power Morning Drive Show on Power Radio. And for those that are watching us on YouTube, you can see that I am not alone in studio. My guests are already in studio, and I'm quite excited about the conversation that we are going to be having today. Today we are all discussing the role of the youth in harnessing processes of peace and conflict resolution, as well as security. But before that, I want to just give an update of something that I've just seen here, very interesting. there's a guy called Kevin Ndemo. He created a finance bill GPT. So this is, let me just read his X caption. He said, if you want to further understand the finance bill and its implications, I have created the finance bill GPT. It's an AI tool with up-to-date information on the finance bill. Use it to understand the bill and ask any questions you may have. So yeah, I think that is something that is helpful for you, and especially people who feel that this information sometimes is a little bit too complicated to comprehend. The GPT platform has it in a more comprehensible and simple way. So head out there and see how you can get yourself educated in the finance bill conversation. All right, but let me now introduce I'll let my guests introduce themselves, and I'll start with the gentleman on my right. Yes.
Thank you so much. My name is Felix Orwaka, co-chair Kenya Coalition on Youth, Peace and Security. I'm a peace builder, a community servant leader, as well as the vision of the people by the name. Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. And to my extreme right.
My name is Susan Wamalwa, serving as the team lead at IPHRD Africa. A trained facilitator on mediation and negotiation, passionate about women in leadership.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. And so, yes, as you have heard, we shall be discussing about the role of the youth in peace-building negotiation tables. For a long time, youth are actually usually on the receiving end of insecurity, for example. They always are victims to these menaces and vices. And so today we are going to delve into the meats and the bones of how the youth can get themselves involved and engaged in peace-building processes. So maybe to start with you, Mr. Orwaka, what does the Kenya Coalition of Youth and Peace and Security do? What work do you guys involve yourself in?
Okay, thank you so much. So Kenya Coalition on Youth, Peace and Security, it is a coalition which is embedded in the resolution 2250. So 2250 is a United Nations resolution which was adopted back in 2015 by the interest of serving young people, trying to unpack the stories of who are young people, as well as end the stereotyping of young people towards the issue of peace and security. So Kenya Coalition is an umbrella of 214 organizations locally. So both organizations at the grassroots level, national level, and also organizations that serve at international level, but they work in Kenya, basically. And this organization, basically, they're out to support the work of young people in different angles. Others engage in training young people. That is the capacity building of young people. Others engage when it comes to supporting the activity of young people. That one can be in terms of economical support of young people. Others also support in educational part. So they offer young people scholarship. So basically, the coalition is out here to walk the journey of youth, peace and security in Kenya, and also support Kenya as a member state to come up with what is known as the National Action Plan on Youth, Peace and Security, at least to advise the government on how best we can support the peace architecture, as well as also to see on how best we can engage young people in a positive vibe. So we are trying to redefine the purpose of young people in our nation through working with the organization who are doing something. So we are not starting something which is new, but we are working together with other organizations.
Well said. And Miss Susan, you also work at with IPHRD.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you involve yourself in on a daily?
So at IPHRD, our work majorly is still focusing on women, peace and security and youth, peace and security. So we work in that interconnectedness.
Yes.
With these resolutions.
Yes.
And what we are doing is we are building capacities of youth to effectively engage in peace processes.
Yes.
That is equipping them with knowledge and skills in mediation, negotiation, and dialogue. And with this, we are looking at for young people to be involved in negotiations, for young people to negotiate about peace processes. Then they have to have the skills and knowledge, the tactic on how to have these conversations.
Yes.
So that is when we come in overally with peace education. Yes.
And Mr. Felix, what are some of the challenges that the youth face, especially when it comes to the spaces of insecurity? Like, what are some of the threats? Because for there to be a coalition on youth on security and peace, it means that there are some things that are specific threats to youth peace and security.
Yeah, thank you so much. So basically what I can say is that the youths of this nation are facing a lot of challenges. One in line of youth peace and security, as also in line of their daily work. So maybe one thing which I've not stated earlier is that we define the effect of peace as an economical issue. It's not just an issue that we say that young people are not being involved. So when you listen to the history of conflicts in our nation, they are resource-based conflicts. Either they are being aligned with the political angle or communal angle. So either you find that young people are not satisfied with the government approach towards an agenda, so they feel that they need to be included, and the benefit that they're getting in return is an economical growth.
Yes.
So one of the biggest issues is that the rate of unemployment in our society is really one thing, and you find that a lot of young people are no longer patient with the process because they know that there's a best way which you can define our issues, and we can as well as find the solution. Not every time we want young people to be employed.
Yes.
I'll say that one as a young person first.
Yes.
But every time we need young people to be financially stable. So if we can define the issue of unemployment in our country through walking the journey with young people. So whatever the coalition is doing, we don't want to work for young people. We don't want to speak for young people. We want young people to speak for themselves. So that one gives us the power of questioning young people when things goes wrong by telling them we had the opportunity for us to define how best we want to grow in this nation.
Yes.
But why are we not growing? Because we are looking on the pillars of the youth peace and security as participation, protection, prevention, disengagement, and reintegration. So the challenge is that in most cases, people do not want to listen to young people. They want people to listen to them all the time. But this one should be a two-way traffic. Young people should listen to the system, as well as also system to listen to the young people, but not coming to a decision-making table or a discussion with an end goal that you want this young person to do this because you want it to happen, but just giving up to help you in creating the programs, the systems, so it becomes easy for us to win it. So I will just give it an umbrella that young people are facing the challenge of inclusivity when it comes to the all processes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Miss Susan, now you work broadly with including women and young women into the negotiations, table. I wonder why is it important for IPHRD to go down that route of, yes, we know that a lot of conflict zones and maybe wars and violent extremism areas that are, when we see a lot of conflict in areas, vulnerable groups are usually women and children.
Yeah.
But then your organization sat and decided, we can shift this spotlight and actually make the space for women to get included and involved in negotiations and in peace building. Why was it important to build that bridge?
It is very important. And the other question will be, why not?
Yes.
Yes. As you've mentioned, women and children affected largely in conflict context. And you find that most of the discussions, it is men discussing. Why are men discussing women issues? And sometimes you find during these negotiations is about power sharing, right? But no one is talking about how women were affected in this conflict context. What are the needs of women in this conflict context? I've not come across this conversation whereby you find men seated discussing about women needing the need for women to have access to sanitary pads in conflict context. So the reason why we are making sure that we have young women or women at the negotiation table is then they can be able to come and discuss women issues that are hard for men to discuss. Issues about family planning, you find that women are raped during conflict. How then can we make sure that these are part of the discussions? Women don't have access to family planning, don't have access to antenatal care, because there are women who get pregnant during that period.
Yes.
Then how do we make sure that we have those discussions at the table? It is through equipping the women with knowledge and skills to be at the table, because it will come automatically. Talking about, apart from the sanitary pads, even the innerwears for women in conflict context. When you're discussing, when they are negotiating about humanitarian access, then you need someone to be able to quickly think, okay, there are women, there are young girls affected in this conflict context, so they will need pads, they will need underwears, they will need what do we call them? Family planning, because the rape cases are going to happen. Then how do we make sure that women are protected in that manner?
Yes.
So that is the need for us to have women at the table, their perspective being considered, they are being affected equally as men. So how do we make sure that those voices are also reflected during those negotiations?
And when we were talking earlier, and you said that when you go into these rooms, into these spaces where women are supposed to, negotiate for peace, what is the sort of general sense? Are they received well? Maybe because women sort of are. They are like a challenge to the patriarchal systems that have been, and of course the gatekeepers of powers that be for a long time have been older men. Yeah. So how is the reception from where you sit?
So we can say things are evolving, and really men are recognizing women's voices because of the perspective that women bring to the table. We are not only coming to talk about pads and all that.
Yes.
There are other issues that we are bringing on the table. You might find that women have a detailed information about the conflict because they are gatekeepers in the community. A woman will notice something is wrong in a certain community way earlier before the man sees it. So they have insider information sometimes.
Yes.
So when they are coming to the table, the narrative is changing. As compared to earlier, you find that in some communities, women couldn't speak in front of men. But right now, it is being recognized in a way that, for example, in Isiolo, whereby you have the, what is the name? There is a communal way of solving conflict. Right now, they have recognized women to be standing in front of elders and airing about issues that are affecting the community.
Yes.
So the narrative is changing with the training of women going to school and all that, the voices of women whereby women are coming out, maybe pursuing political position, and you see them vibrant, you see how they are contributing to the community.
Right.
So with that, with their voice, them being out there, solving other issues, they are being identified by the elders, even at the community level.
Right.
They are being identified by some of these men who are maybe peace builders at the community level.
That's right.
And they're like, we want you in this meeting because we know you can represent your fellow women in the community about what is affecting them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, this is the Power Morning Drive Show on Power Radio. We are discussing about the role that youth can play in engaging themselves in peace building, conflict resolution, and security negotiation processes. And I'm joined in studio by Mr. Felix Orwaka from the Kenya Coalition on Youth and let me say this one more time. From the Kenya Coalition on Youth in Peace and Security. And we also have Ms. Susan Wamalwa from the IPHRD Africa. If you have any questions for them, you can shoot us a message or a DM on our social media platforms. We are on X, or on TikTok, we are on Facebook, and we are on Instagram at Power Radio. And also our live stream on YouTube. You can get us there at Power Radio. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. We love to see our audiences engaging in such meaningful discussions. And we are also on our website live streaming on www.power254.org/Power Radio. Now, Mr. Felix, let me come to you. The youth, very daunting sometimes. You know, I have a lot of conversations with young people. Like right now, the finance bill, not a lot of them actually know what's happening. And this, I'm not saying just on bias. I have actually gone out to the streets and asked young people, do they even have an idea of what is happening with the finance bill? And to be fair, not most of them do know about this. So there is a question of youth apathy when it comes to national conversations. So what are some of the models and approaches that you use in ensuring that the youth are plugged in and roped into these processes of peace and security and negotiations? Because sometimes it feels like they are not really interested, or are they?
Thank you so much. I'll start by saying that one of the most active citizens in this nation are the young people. One of the people who are driven towards bringing change and development in our nation are young people. But they are so much disappointed with the process. A lot of young people are not appreciating whatever is being offered to them as per now.
Yes.
Because it is not whatever was supposed to be there for them. So whatever is out is not for the young people. Is there to blindfold the young people. I'm saying this as a young person first.
Yes.
Because I've gone through the process. I was raised in a slum. I'm born and raised in Madare. So I'm telling you the truth because this is whatever is happening. And the reason why you find that young people are not even interested with the finance bill is one. They'll tell you that even if it is there or not there.
Inanihusu aje.
Yes, inanihusu aje. Now, for the whole time, they have been affected, even before the finance bill. So you find that even if it passed today, we are still going to suffer, they usually suffer. But I will tell you, there's a very increased participation of young people in this finance bill. I'll tell you that,
yes.
Compared to the other finance bill, because the main purpose of coalition is to create that platform,
yes,
to discuss about these issues. And we have our experts, which usually have the conversations that are of issues that are affecting young people. And I'll tell you that a lot of young people have been supporting their fellow young people to understand issues within our nation, as well as issue in relation with youth, peace and security, as well as any development kind of issue. So for me, I'll start by saying that
yes,
the disappointment that young people have been facing in their life has really made young people not to be interested with some issues which they still feel that it is a pre-planned issue. So there's no any day you'll find that that young people are focusing in supporting public participation. I want to give an example. As a young person, I've gone to public participation. I usually go to public participation, but I'll tell you, they are coming with agenda to be discussed, but they're not ready to edit the agenda.
Right.
Are you getting this?
Yes.
So I cannot go for 4 years public participation. Somebody comes and tell me that we want to build a social hall in point A. We are trying to advise them that point A will not be good for young people to participate, maybe when it comes to using the hall very well. But if you take it to point B, you're going to find a lot of young people who are there. I'm giving an example.
Yes.
Then you find that they're not ready to turn to change the idea of constructing the hall to point B because they have interest in point A.
Yes.
So I think if we can open the space for young people to define what they want.
Yes.
That's why the peace, the youth peace and security agenda, we are offering platform for young people to define whatever they want. And we usually say that for us to go far, we are supposed to work with the government. So I usually tell my young people that let's not get away from the line that we say that we don't want the government. We need the government. Young people need the government more than how the government needs us.
Yes.
We need the government to support us economically. We need the government to support our ideas. We need the government to at least bring our visions and dreams to come true. So through the platform that we create, at least young people are starting to understand that we are supposed to work with the government, we are supposed to unpack the issues, and then we are supposed to look on the best way to address our issues.
Yes.
And through that one, we are going to have a nice platform. That's why the level at which young people are usually not engaging when it comes to political arenas is very minimal. And you find that if young people are there, they are there because of money.
Yes.
They are going for money because they feel that the disappointment is high and it's their time to get something. And we usually tell our young people that sometimes is that if we deny ourselves, even for the smallest period, then we come up with the best strategy to define what we want. Then in one way or the other, they will listen to us. They will listen to us because we are already organized. We are already ready to have the discussion with an open mind. We are with an open heart, with an inclusive approach towards the solution that we want to see.
Wow.
So through that one, at least, we can get somewhere.
Wow, and very, very passionate sentiments there from Mr. Felix. I want us to take a short musical break. When we come back, we talk about the mainstreaming of young people. What does this process really actually look like? Capacity building is really never enough. There has to be much more than just capacity building. We want to find out. Stick around. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. We get into some music and we'll see you right after this break.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.
Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, Samarokangolo, Kitamba Bindabolo. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, Samarokangolo, Kitamba Bindabolo. Ajakongolo, Nyakwarnyarabolo. The ball is bouncing, rolling in my yard, I got to balance in my new balance. I spent my savings, so I got no balance. That's bad manners. It's like you're dipping your finger in your anus. Babu mkubwa amepata wafuasi, walamba makamasi, basi mambo si shwari. Kama ni duvya, ongeza sukari. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tukunangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba bindabolo. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tukunangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba bindabolo. Sati bindabolo. Apana taka, tambua. Timbe mamono, timbe ma. Abolo rasa, mawengi wana pondera. Afuraga niko basi niko basi. Niliri has, nika bakli basi. Wengine wakikasi, mimi niko mwendo kasi. They get bitter, as I'm getting better. Anego nyakario, agoyo totorio, akalo gimorio. A lot of questions, but the answer none. This is unique, man, check it. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba bindabolo. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba bindabolo. Sati bindabolo. Apana taka, tambua. Timbe mamono, timbe makoch, timbe mo church ni, hey. Mix them, gather them. Come up again, I miss a blaze up the fire then. 10 over 10, freaking free without the shame, hey. Some of them wonder how me juggle it so brandy. Lyrically lucky, that's what they call me, hey.
tuturu. I go your patrol, I take control. Sama moko go your poro, and loso magimoro. Stop the yapping, stop the yapping, stop the screaming, stop the screaming, stop the yapping, stop the yapping, stop the screaming, stop the screaming, stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba benda bolo. Stop the yapping, stop the screaming. Tugnangolo, samarwakangolo, kitamba benda bolo, sati benda bolo. Apana taka, tambua. Timbe mamono, timbe makoch, he, timbe mo church ni.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.
Stop the yapping. It's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show, and we are continuing with our discussion, a very, very pertinent discussion here. We are talking about the importance or the role that the youth can play in peace building, peace resolution, conflict resolution, security, like all those things. How can the youth plug in conversations around peace and building? And I am joined in studio by Susan Wamalwa from IPHRD Africa and Mr. Felix Orwaka from the Kenya Coalition of Youth on Peace and Security. But before that, naona mafans wameingia kwenye studioni. Let me just read some of the comments. We have Brigadier General anasema afro mama mtoto wa Sagana. Sasa huku leo hata afro nimerudisha, nimeitem kidogo, nini ananiuliza ati nani amenichokoza. Thank you. I look amazing. Asante sana. Nobody has chokozed me. I think ni finance bill. Finance bill inatutrigger huku nje na budget. Muliona budget? You guys followed the budget? Muliona? Mimi kwanza nilikuwa nataka kukua influencer, lakini sasa 20% surely. All right. Ninaona nani mwingine. Francis Onono anasema guests are on fire. Felix, huyu ni mtu ambaye umelipa wewe. Huyu umelipana. Anasema good stuff. Keep doing what you are doing. Francis Onono, is this someone you know?
Maybe I
Kuna
know
mafans, kuna mafans huku nje. And also sema Wamalwa, awesomeness nayo, you look sharp. Hey. And they are saying that you guys are very eloquent. Yeah. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in. And if you have any musical requests as well, let us know. Kama mko na swali kuhusu youth, peace and security processes also. To DM manze, weka comment pale YouTube as well as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and X, and we will be I'm sure that our able guests will be able to tackle that. You can also find us on our website. We are streaming at www.power254.org/Power Radio. Now, Miss Wamalwa, let's get to you now. You know, at IPHRD Africa, you do a lot of trainings, not only locally, but also internationally. Mm-hmm. And who else to ask than you this question? Now, my question is, what is the state of peace and security? And more so, what is the state of the young people, even in these other African or global countries, that you are able to train? Do you get a sense of urgency from them? And then in comparison to Kenya, where are we versus where are they in terms of their responses, their responsibility on getting involved and plugged into peace processes?
I will say in each country, the context is different. Mm-hmm. That is one. We need to understand that right now, when you look at Kenya, you cannot compare it to South Sudan or even Sudan, which right now is in active conflict. So you find that the urgency of young people participation varies depending on the needs at that moment. Right now in Kenya, we are vibrant on, the young people are now vibrant when it comes to National Action Plan on Youth, Peace and Security, because right now we are enjoying some sort of peacefulness. But when you go to Sudan right now, that is not the case, because Sudan right now, they are in active conflict. We have young people in different countries right now as refugees. We have people as living in camps as internal displaced people. So the urgency is different depending on what is happening in that country at that moment. But the vibrancy of young people when it comes to peace issues, because we are at, which is the correct term to use, we are at a tipping point in Africa at the moment when it comes to issues with conflict and violence, in a way that, or even globally, we are at a breaking point. When you look at the statistics, a lot of countries are experiencing conflict right now. And the most affected is the young people. And also, when you look at the population of young people in Africa, the sub-Saharan region, we are more than 70%. So it means that it is young people who are being affected. Their destinies are being affected. To live along the conflict and violence. Issues with climate change, they are coming in. The climate security, how is that affecting us? Issues with mental health. Apart from the recession shocks that we are experiencing, aside from economic depressions that we are experiencing, how are young people being affected? So with all these frustrations, if we were to have a platform as young people in Africa, then the outcry will be so big. But the attention is a bit divided. And unfortunately, as young people, I think we get united for wrong reasons, because right now, we should be having a voice about what is happening in Sudan, how our counterparts are being affected in Sudan. But right now, when you talk about Sudan, then someone is confusing it with, is it South Sudan or Sudan? And if someone knows more of what is happening in Gaza as compared to what is happening in Sudan.
Next door,
So there is a problem in a way that we don't have coordination. And one thing about the Kenya Coalition on Youth, Peace and Security, what is happening is bringing young people together. So that when we have such issues, then how do we voice our issues as young people? So Felix maybe will come in later to mention about that. Like this is the Kenya Coalition. We have each country have. There are those who have the coalitions already, and there are those who do not have. Then we have the Global Coalition on Youth, Peace and Security. So if we were to mobilize our voices as young people on peace and security and speak in one voice, then you find that some of the issues that we are facing, maybe we will make noise enough for the relevant people who are supposed to make decisions to really act on some of the issues that we are facing. But again, we cannot water down what already has been done. We have stakeholders who are responding to us, who are supporting the work that we do, who are making sure that young people are part of the processes. And some of the avenues is through the supporting the policy. You talked about the policy that is the National Action Plans on Youth, Peace and Security. Apart from the National Action Plans on Youth, Peace and Security, we have countries that already have the National Action Plans. policies that guides the involvement of young people in peace processes. So when you have that framework at the national level, then it becomes easier if a dialogue is happening, then young people can easily be remembered to be part of the process. Right now, there is a process happening here in Kenya.
Okay.
It is called the Tumaini Initiative. It is a peace process, a peace negotiation looking at the South Sudan process.
Oh, so here in Kenya?
Yeah, it is happening here in Kenya. So with that, you find that with the vibrancy, let's say, for example, with young people in South Sudan, through the movement called the Anataban movement, whereby young people come together to mobilize voices through art. So you find that young people are able to tap into such processes. So basically, there is something being done, but it is not enough when it comes to including young people and young women in conversations pertaining peace and security.
And then, so whenever I hear of the word inclusion and diversity, my blood coils because I always know that it is very tokenistic.
Yes.
So how do you then mitigate this inclusion so that it's not tokenistic, so that it is meaningful, so that it's not just people coming and, giving speeches that have probably been written by some PRO in some high-end office, but it's not a very personalized and internalized process among the young people? How do you go about navigating that?
Unfortunately, tokenism, we are going to still experience that for some time.
Oh, no.
That is the problem. We are going to still experience it because you find that in most of these conversations, you find it is a child to the senior person in that country coming to such conversations.
Yes.
Then they don't have anything to offer.
Yes.
They don't know the issues.
They don't go through these issues,
They don't know the real issues that young people are facing.
Yeah.
But where you find that there is intentional, if we can move away from just participation, inclusion, but meaningful inclusion of young people. When you bring someone on the table who understands the real issues young people are facing, when you bring somebody on the table who can really speak on behalf, because we cannot all be at the table.
Yes.
Then we need to have a representative who is not going to be manipulated.
Yes.
Who is not going to be told what to say.
Yeah.
We understand with the diplomacy and whatever.
Yeah.
So sometimes diplomacy
it's
has
very
to,
controlled.
Yes, it is very controlled.
Yeah.
But then how do we create those spaces in a way that as much as there is the highest table where people are in an environment that is controlled, but down here we are having real conversations so that even if the environment or the table is controlled, but the issues can clearly be represented, can clearly be presented.
Yes.
Through the community consultations, women consultations, different groups consultations, so that even when this person is going to the table, then they have the real issues on the ground. Not that people just sat in a certain office and decided this is what young people are facing
going
through research on online, Googling online, and that is it.
Yes.
No.
It's very lazy.
Very lazy.
Yes.
So what is happening, what is online may not be a true representative of a young person in Kibra, of a young person in Madari, of a young person in Samburu, of a young person in Baringo.
Yes.
So we need to have those consultations, mobilizing young people at the community level, going to them and listening to them. Then coming up with those reports, then presenting them to the relevant people who are mandated with making policies so that they are aware of what is happening. If there will be an opportunity, right now we are looking at intergenerational co-leadership. If we are looking at that, how then does it, I don't know how it looks for some people, bottom up.
Yes.
Right. I don't know what bottom up means,
Yeah.
but for my interpretation,
Yeah.
is in a way that really we are involving people from the ground, and the involvement is meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well articulated. Now, Mr. Felix, I would love to know now, we have talked about, the challenges that young people face, even not only from a negotiation table's point of view, but also real life, cross-cutting issues. Young people have gone through just the wildest atrocities that you could ever think about. It's always young people. So then, what are some of the impact matrices from the coalition? What does impact look like? Have you seen, or in your work, in your daily work, have you seen your work translating into something that is impactful, whether it was in policy briefs or something like that? Yeah, what would you share with us on that front?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for recognizing that the young people are going through a lot. And we need to do something.
Yes.
Not only recognizing that, yeah. And one thing which I want to say that we have the Kenya Peace Architecture, which is taking place currently. We are looking on how best the peace and security can be embedded into the system of the nation, not just as a speech, but into workable models. And one thing which we are doing currently, we are working on coming up with a national action plan, which are not working as a coalition alone. We are working with the government and also other NGOs around the nation, and basically. Currently, we are doing national consultation. We are calling it county consultation, and we have visited 19 counties, trying to unpack the issue of youth peace and security to the young people at the grassroots level. So whatever realize that the majority, in most cases, the peace and security issues are always being discussed at the major cities. You go to Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, and Kisumu. You will find there are quite a number of young people. They know the agenda, but sometimes they're not able to sink into the agenda. But now you find that if you go to the rural area, you find that they even don't know about it. They even don't care about it because others have lived with it. If you go to West Pokot, that young person, peace is not a word to be discussed.
Yes.
If you go to maybe some of the areas in Baringo, you cannot discuss about peace.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
That's not the language they speak.
Exactly. So whatever we are trying to say is that the way I stated earlier, we are redefining the word peace and security to the economical aspect and the value addition that young people can bring on table. So we are trying to tell young people, we have this agenda of youth peace and security, and this agenda can enable you to do A, B, C, D. Like we have the pillar of disengagement and reintegration. So the pillars speak of the member states working with the young people who are ready to maybe, let me just give it out point blank, maybe to give back their firearms and say, I'm surrendering today. I've realized that peace, I've realized that conflict cannot bring development in my society, but peace can bring it. So they are just giving back their firearms. Then how do we handle these people? So we need to look on the way of disengaging them, demobilizing, disarming them, and also focusing on their reintegration back to the community. So we don't want that whenever we had a young person who maybe is out of crime, then we send them away from the society. No, we want them to be in their community because it is our country. Even if you take them to another society, we don't want to transfer problems, but we want to work on the problem. So through that one, we are still visiting some counties, and this month also, we by around August, we'll have a nice report for the counties that we have visited. So currently we are still on process, so and we cannot discuss much from the outcome that we have. But what is evident is that we have realized that we cannot only define young people in one ministry.
Yes.
You cannot say that the Ministry of Youth is enough for young people in our nation to grow. From the small counties we visited. Because I'll give you an example. We went to a county that their main interest was agriculture. Yes, they're only speaking on how best the country can empower the young people in the agricultural sector.
Yes.
So that means that these young people need the Ministry of Agriculture to offer them the platform. We went to a county that we never even had internet, the normal mobile network
connectivity, absolutely none.
So they're trying to say that even if we are speaking about how the information are in online, we can digitalize the energy of young people to get money through tap.
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 Inatoka kwa laptop.
But these young people, they need the Ministry of ICT to come down to work on that as their main problem.
That's right.
So we are trying to focus on coming up with a national action plan which is workable. So I just said that we have countries that have national action plan, but I'll tell you the truth that some of them are not working. I'll give you an example. We have the Women, Peace and Security, Kenya, which they have their national action plan, and now they are in the what?
In the third phase.
In the third phase of implementation?
Of coming up with the third national action plan.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the reason is the first one never worked. The second one, there was a loophole again.
All right.
The third one, there's another loophole which they have identified.
Yes.
And for us, we want to, we may not be perfect to come up with everything with our first national action plan, but we don't want to repeat the mistake that that's happened in the Women, Peace and Security, because they gave us the vision, and at least they opened the eye of the young people in Kenya that we can also have our national action plan. So we are trying to see on how best can we bring it out and look on how can we implement the policy.
Yes.
So one of the things which is happening in our country, we have nice policies, but we
never implement them.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. I mean, the challenges, the myriad of challenges. We talk about what you've just said, that the young people are not a monolith. We cannot just be boxed into one ministry because our issues are so much complex and so much intricate than just one ministry. We have issues of being relegated, for instance. We never get to see the end of these documents. So my question then to you, Susan, would be, then how do we build from this point going forward? What are some of the solutions to these challenges? When it comes to including young people in matters of national concern, how do we move from these challenges? Because I'm sure the solutions are there.
First is there a will for us to do that? We need to create an environment where all the stakeholders come together for us to be able to figure out a pathway, a roadmap that is going to make sure that some of the issues that we know we have challenges, right? And right now we are divided. We have the citizens, we have the young people, we have those who are for the government, we have those who are not for the government.
Right.
So clearly we are divided.
Yes.
And if we are divided, it means we cannot come up with solutions to the problems that we are facing. So something needs to be done in a way that how can we call ourselves back? We need a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Then sit down and discuss, come up with a clear roadmap on what we need to do, what we need to do to address some of the issues that we are facing. Another thing is if there is a way.
Yes.
I don't know who to address this to.
Yeah.
But trust needs to be restored among the citizens. When you listen to the frustrations of the people in this country, every time you interact with one maybe a taxi or in a matatu.
Yes.
They're like, if I get an opportunity to leave this country,
I'm leaving on the first flight outside.
Yes, I'll be out. So there is a lot of mistrust, even if maybe our leaders are trying to say something positive, but we cannot see it. We cannot hear it because we are already blinded by all the negative things that are happening. So trust needs to be restored for things to work, especially in this country. Create a good environment for young people to really thrive, because young people figure it out in a way that we had limited employment opportunities. Young people, they figure it out and found ways to work online. And right now we are trying to impose taxes on that. Then what is the other option that is going to be there for young people?
Die.
So we need to be able to really restore trust, create an environment for young people to thrive, as well as the issue of corruption. Needs to be addressed in a way that when you're talking about corruption, you find that we make a step, but then we fall down 10 steps down
behind.
We make one, then we fall back. When you look at what has been happening, maybe was it last week, in a way that we had people where we had cases in court about corruption and whatever, and they have just been dropped. Then you are like, and the money just now, what happens with the whatever the accusation was? Can we be given a comprehensive report for us as citizens to also understand and look at it? And we are like, okay, maybe there was no evidence or something, or it was not stolen. So for us to be able to understand. So some of these things, we continue building mistrust, then there is nothing that is going to happen if we cannot trust each other.
Right.
Yeah, the government needs to create mechanisms for people to trust in what they are doing. They need to create mechanisms in a way that if people needs to be held accountable, then those people are being held accountable. Because the issue you're having, and when you listen to most conversations, most people are saying we don't have a problem with paying taxes, right? But we want accountability of the money.
Yes,
right?
We have to have something to show for it.
Yes, we need accountability. There are those who are saying, even if I'm paying a lot of taxes out of what I'm earning, but I have access to medical healthcare.
Roads are working, systems are working. When I go to school, yesterday I was listening to Naisula Lesuda. She was saying that in her county, there are no books in schools. Seriously. Like, this country is a joke.
So you find some of the issues, that is where we need to put more efforts and address those issues, restore trust in people, let's work together. This is our country. And when we are talking about young people are leaders of tomorrow. Which tomorrow do you want to leave to us?
This today.
Right?
Yes.
You want to leave the tomorrow that is broken, the tomorrow that that has a lot of young people depressed, young people
are
who have
destitute.
No hope, right? Let's restore that back. Let's create hope with young people in a way that even if things are not working right now, but the message you are giving to young people is that, okay, things are not working right now, I understand.
Yes.
But we are working out something, we have a plan, there is a better tomorrow for all of us. Let's restore hope among young people and among the citizens of Kenya.
Wow, and you mentioned something. You said that we are also in the era of co-leadership, where young people listen to the older generation and the older generation listen to the young people. And of course, that is something that can be seen as a trend of where young or youth leadership is heading towards. And Mr. Felix, what are some of other trends that you think we are going to start seeing more and more young people, especially in the space of negotiation tables, in the peace building conversation, as well as in the security space?
Yeah, thank you so much. So one of the trend which is coming or which should come out very clear is the use of technology as a tool to ensure that young people are into space.
Yes.
So because the issue of mental health is very, 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 very critical. Very, very critical. I'm telling you that.
Yes.
A lot of young people are walking into the road talking by themselves. A lot of young people are expressing their dissatisfaction from the system and everything. So we are looking upon on how best can we utilize the online space. I'm very happy for the young person who has just come up with the ChatGPT to understand the finance bill. What if
that is for him?
What if we can have such a toolkit, such ChatGPT to enable young people to go through the issue of mental health
openly? Yeah.
How can we use it to help young people to understand the security level in their society? What is that space that young people can also use to embrace each other? Because in quite a number of time we find it very hard for us even to embrace our fellow young people because of the system.
Yeah.
The way Ms. Susan just stated that we have been divided with those who know whatever they want. And they divide them so that you can rule them is not working in Kenya. I'm telling you that a young person that you're supposed to reason with sometimes may not be ready to reason with you.
That's true.
Because he knows that, you know what, I have my servant, and my servant is going to give me something at the end of the day. So I must just pick what they want to listen to.
Yes.
So the use of dialogue is one of the best approach because in dialogue, we discuss of issues and also focus on solution. So I'm looking upon of creating a lot of base in society. These bases should be there to enable young people to talk of whatever is affecting them and also look for solution. And my prayers is that whatever the government is saying they have for young people, let the dream come true.
Yeah. And do you think there's political goodwill from the powers that be to support young people in their pursuit for security and peace? This I throw to you, Susan.
I will say there is.
Yeah.
I don't think if there is anyone right now who wants us to go back to 2007.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, please.
Because we understand where we have come from as Kenya, and at the same time, Kenya is leading in the region when it comes to peace issues. For South Sudan to come to Kenya to discuss about their issue, their negotiation, it means like Kenya is leading in that line.
Yes.
So even at the AU level, you find that Kenya is doing well when it comes to peace and security issues. The women peace and security, the women participation, we're doing well. We are doing well even at the global level. So let's take advantage of that. And that is what I will urge among the leaders in a way that right now it's not the time to be divided.
Yes.
It is too soon.
Yeah.
If
really
we have to do that.
Yeah.
It is too soon.
Yeah.
Right now we should focus on how do we deliver on what we promised during the campaigns. How do we deliver on education? How do we deliver on healthcare?
Yes.
We've just come out of the pandemic, the floods. Some people, when you go to Mukuru, when you go to Madare, people
we're
they
still
don't
having internally displaced people.
They're sleeping outside.
Even now.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we speak.
Now.
As we speak now.
Yeah,
so much painful.
Those are some of the
not cool.
issues that should be addressed right now, rather than focusing. It seems like now again we are in campaign mode. You don't know what is happening.
This country is always on campaign mode.
We don't know what is happening. So we should focus on addressing some of those issues to make sure that even if we don't want to be empathetic, let's then be sympathetic. Let's sympathize then.
Yes.
If really we don't want to be empathetic, to put ourselves in the shoes of others who are facing really these hard times in a way that, can you imagine sleeping outside with your kids? In this cold, again,
People
it is
died.
very cold right now.
It's very cold.
Yeah, so those are some of the issues that should be addressed. So when it comes to, when I come back to your question, I say yes, there is political goodwill when it comes to peace and security. And we are hoping that when it comes to now the youth peace and security, we are able to see leaders who are going to come together and support the process, because this is a policy that is really going to guide on how we are going to involve young people, not only in peace and security, but also I hope it aligns with the 2030 agenda for Kenya, and also the beta, I hope, the beta, what is it called, beta what? The current government has a program, it is called bottom-up something.
Bottom-up.
Better approach.
Yes.
So if it aligns with all these structures, then we hope that it is a good opportunity for Kenya to have the National Action Plan on Youth Peace and Security. And also just picking up on what already young people have already been doing. It is not like it is the first time young people are being involved in issues, peace and security.
Yes.
We have been doing that. So it is just a matter of creating a framework that guides on how better we can be able to lead, how better we can be able to be included.
Amazing.
Can I drop something?
Yes, please.
So about the issue of the government goodwill, I'll say in line with youth peace and security. I want to be specific.
Yes.
Because maybe other agendas.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. There's a big government goodwill because one, I want to state it very clearly. It is the first time that the government has given young people the time to discuss about their issue. I know for the government to have the National Action Plan, it can only call for 3 activities. One town hall, another town hall, then they draft the document that it is done.
Yes.
But at least the government is there to listen. That's why as a coalition, we are able to go to the community where the government is waiting for the outcome from the community so that they can have it at the National Action Plan. So I will support that because the Ministry of Youth has been so much supportive. That's the Honorable Abobna Mwamba, together with the young people in his department, in different departments within the Ministry of Youth. Also, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been so much supportive. So at least we have seen the government goodwill to understand and also to be advised on how best we can have the National Action Plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. If you're just joining us, this is the Power Morning Drive Show, and today we have been discussing about the role of the youth in peace building and security processes. And we are joined in studio by Mr. Felix Orwaka and Ms. Susan Wamalwa. They all work at the Coalition of the Youth on issues to do with peace and security. And we want to take a short musical break. When we come back, we wrap up our conversation for today. Now that we have discussed about the challenges and the issues that are at hand, where do we go from this point going forward? All right. You can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are across Facebook. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and also on X at Power Radio. Follow us there and also ask us questions. Ask my panel the questions, and they will be sure to answer that. We are also on YouTube at Power Radio. That's our YouTube channel, and also on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. For now, let's get into some music. We will be right back. Do not touch that dial.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio. Bad girl, I forget you what I'm saying.
Lock check on the case.
Tell a boy, where we want. We not prefer tell a boy, where we want. Straight to the point, bad girl want some. When I see you, I'm a wanna hold back none. Me and you in a little conversation. Tonight me I forget you on my intention. I don't care who you came here with. All I know, Mr. Worry me you're leaving with. Came here with a 5, going home with a 10. Now say bye-bye to your ex-girlfriend. Me say that.
She came straight to me. Tell me love, tell you better conversation. She said that. She tried to bear with me. But you can't carry on me, not true. She said that. She came straight to me. Tell you better conversation, she said that. She tried to bear with me, but we can't carry on without you. When she said that, she she not care about intimidation. On the bed now she want to lay pan. Tell a boy straight that she want to get some. Tell a boy she not care who me with so. Hey, me never seen a bad gal like Cecile's. Any gal try to chat, no she kills. She not give up like what them man feel. Nobody hot like she, like she. She came straight to me. Tell me look, tell you better conversation. She said that. She try to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said that. She came straight to me. Tell me look, tell you better conversation. She said that. She try to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said
that. Bad girl chat, I forget what I want. We say that. Some girl wish and hope and stress. I get what I want, oh yeah, oh yeah. Cause any man don't want me, I forget. Can't get you, never seen that yet. No, all I get is yes. So give it up, boy, cause me are the best, so
she
yeah.
want to treat me, she want to be with me. She want to settle down and to give me picnic. Won't live a girl, you want to come and she with me. But when a girl I come around, she put her in me. She want to treat me, she want to be with me. She want to settle down and to give me picnic. Won't live a girl, you want to come and she with me. But when a girl I come around, she put her in me. She came straight to me. Tell me love, tell you better conversation. She said that. She tried to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said that. She came straight to me. Tell me love, tell you better conversation. She said that. She tried to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said that. She came straight to me. Tell me love, tell you better conversation. She said that. She tried to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said that. She came straight to me. Tell me love, tell you better conversation. She said that. She tried to bear with me. But we can't carry on without you. She said that.
Yeah. Why red? Bad girl Cecile. Yeah. You know that's the deal.
Love child
Yeah.
on the case.
A bad girl thing. And that me say.
Nairobi and Kingston combination.
Yeah. Me say that.
Yo, respect to G Money for the link up. Why with the love child? Alongside bad girl Cecile. Hey, a Daredevil remix. Nairobi and Kingston combination.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Waira the Love Child alongside Cecile, the bad girl from Jamaica. It's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. And we now, oh my God, it's 10 minutes to show ending. Time really flies when you're having a good time. Yeah, we have been discussing about the role of the young people in this country and really pretty much the world in peace building and security and peaceful negotiations. And off air, I was talking to Susan, and we were talking about, how do they go about psychosocial interventions, because this is very heavy. It's a hectic, job. You're constantly in conflict zones, and if you're not in conflict zones, you're dealing with people who are in conflict zones. You're having to deal with documents that are showing you the staggering statistics of Sijui, how many dead bodies have been found Sijui where. How do you go about mental health, maintaining mental health, management of mental health, psychosocial intervention?
Okay, personally, what I've managed to do is, as I mentioned during our discussion, is being able to find your community in a way that having people around you, sometimes we forget about ourselves. But when you have someone closer to you who can really call you out and tell you it is time to get rest, because this work sometimes you cannot imagine about postponing an activity that will help someone, but you are overwhelmed. So you need someone to really remind you to take care of yourself. Someone who can sit down and notice Susan has not eaten the whole day. She needs to eat.
Yes.
Susan, when did you take your last leave?
Yes.
Someone to check you out and call you out and to remind you to take care of yourself. It is very, very important.
Yes.
At the same time, apart from having a community for yourself, is for you to understand yourself, your body. When your body is our body speaks to us. When it is saying no, understand it and really give it that time.
Listen, yes.
Yes, listen to it and give it that time.
Yes.
So it is very crucial, because when I'm empty, I will not be able to pour into someone else.
That's right.
So it is really something that most of the young peace builders are embracing. We were almost creating other sick people, another group of sick people.
Yes.
But right now, most of the young peace builders have learned to create that balance, take care of themselves, so that when you go to the community, you are not going there a frustrated person, but you're going there as a whole person, so that you are able to provide the support that is needed to the next person in the communities that you are serving.
June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
You, as a man who is also in the peace building conversation, talk to us about that. What are some of the trends that you've seen with men young men especially in conflict zones, but also on this other side of negotiations, mediators? Tell us, are you okay?
I need my safety. So thank you so much. So I've done an article known as Burnout in Life of a Peace Builder.
Wow. Is it online?
Yes.
Can we share?
I've shared link with you. You can share it out. It's on one of my blog spaces.
Nice.
This thing happened to me when now I was having a conversation with one of the peace builders, a young person who is in the peace space. Then sometimes we don't realize that we are out of energy, but we think that we are sick. You realize that I have an headache. It's not an headache. There's a burnout.
Right.
Because we offer a lot sometimes
than
what we receive back. And whatever we offer a lot, we offer a healing process.
Yes.
As a mediator, as a young person who engage in a dialogue, maybe in the reconciliation table, we listen to people's painful stories. We listen to young people who have gone through hell, and now you want to work with them to recover. And just as a teacher, when you go home, you think of how the session was. And you think of how best you're going to offer a solution whenever you're being challenged. So you work with the issue of that person throughout your life until they get out from the situation. There's one person. A situation that you have 10 people that believes in you, that you're going to help them when it comes to maybe understanding their issue. You're working with them to solve what is known as that conflict, the conflict within themselves. So you want to solve it. So I think young people are going through a lot when it comes to these issues. And now my heart melts so much for the young people who are in conflict areas. It is worse than whatever you're going through. Sometimes men go through a lot, but the masculinity, toxic masculinity has made a lot of young people to lose their life. Up to the level, let me give you even a funny space. Up to the level of even losing their life because of football.
Wow. It's
I cannot agree that I will not call the team X. I do not have trophy and every year, and I'm a fan base of this team. So they don't agree defeat sometimes because they feel that they're supposed to have a solution, even into a space that they're not needed to. Like, how can you fight for the English Premier League and you're not even playing?
You're not even in that country.
So when it comes to conflict, I think our young people need a lot of break, and also they need a lot of space to listen to. That's why I'm really focusing on the digital space, the ICT space. So this young person who can just have an app they can call, then they just talk. Then you know what? I have a burnout. I'm fed up with these issues. Just walk with me. Now, sometimes we have different personalities. Not everyone can speak for themselves, but they can speak to the people that they feel is a safe space. But in this world of betrayal in the city, everybody is afraid of speaking their issues to people. So they have it internally. So we are looking for the space on where we can give young people to speak for themselves and their issues to be addressed.
Wow.
So
And
Wow.
just maybe to add, you
Yes.
find that with the work that we are doing, sometimes the passion that we have to really go out there and really be able to support this community. So another approach, like most of organizations have are coming up with, is introducing the psychosocial program.
Yes.
In a way that were you part of the program? Last year, what we did as an organization is we brought most of the young people that we have trained together in December.
Wow.
To have to look at how they can use art as a form of addressing issues of trauma. Through we are trying to look at expressions. How if, as he has said, most of us cannot really express ourselves when we are experiencing challenges.
Yes.
Then can I sit down in my room and maybe draw something as a way of me unwinding?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
As a way of me letting go of emotions, expressing how I feel, because it is through expression of what we feel that is how we heal.
Yes.
So if I cannot talk to someone, if I don't have access to someone, can I sit in my room and just draw flowers, draw maybe what is going on in my mind as a way of letting it go? So with this training, it may not work for everyone, but when they go back to the communities they are serving, right? Can they also incorporate that in their programs, right?
Yes.
So that with the young people that they are dealing with, because when you're working in an organization, you're not working alone.
Yeah.
You're working with other team members.
Yes.
Is it something you can sit down and decide with your team?
Yes.
On Fridays, I would want us in the afternoon to be doing this and this. It may not be therapy only, maybe dances, what works for you, listening to music, play what you want, play what I want, we listen, we dance, then we go home. If it is a safe space, we trust each other. Our approach is a matter of us just talking. Can we talk freely and just maybe laugh about it and go? Can we pair into two as friends and discuss about what we feel, how life is going? So creating those spaces where young people can tap into the skills that they have, art, dance, music, to be able to let go of the emotions, to address issues with the trauma. I think that is what we are looking at. And to also mention that we moved away, not like really away. We are also looking at when you go to communities, art may not work because art doesn't work for everyone.
Yes.
Then we are looking at, let's say, for example, in Baringo or Samburu. These are communities that are still rich in culture.
Yes.
The issue with the trauma, it is not like something that is starting right now, right? How did they do it? Izo ages za kitambo, sindo? So we want to tap into that. We look at culture. Can the young people at the community level, in communities that still embrace these strong cultures, use dance, right? Cultural dances as a way of addressing issues with the trauma. Can they use their music as a way of addressing trauma? So creating that environment in a way that when I'm talking about intergenerational learning, in a way that some of the cultures that we have in our communities are real good cultures, but over time we are going to lose them.
Yes.
Then how then do we reinvent the wheel in a way that we make sure we are creating spaces, an environment where young people can learn about those cultures?
Yes.
How did the families address issues back then without really fighting and all that? Like we have communities whereby if they have an issue as a way of reconciliation, they will come together, wachinje mbuzi, wakule as a way of reconciliation, tumesameheana, we move on.
Yes.
How can we tap into those processes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And make sure that if we have good cultures, good practices that can be impressed by young people right now, then how do we tap into that?
Wow.
So those are some of the things that we are looking into,
Yes.
making sure that we don't only look at the modern way of doing things, but we go back to the indigenous knowledge, tapping into the indigenous knowledge to address some of these issues we are facing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, I am afraid we have come to the end of the show. And I just want to imagine, just like that, you guys did so well. And I keep saying that one conversation on a show, on a radio show, is never enough. It's never enough to cover the complexities of, for example, young people's issues in these countries. So please come back and we talk again and again and again. Will you?
We will.
Mtakuja, sindio?
Yes, yeah.
Asanteni sana. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix and Miss Susan Wamalwa, for the amazing work that you are doing with the young people, not only of Kenya, but of Africa and even outside the continent. And we as the media, our role is to amplify, some of the amazing work that you guys are already doing. And we just want to say thank you for even honoring, and just ask myself, am I doing enough for my country? But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, and many thanks to also your organizations for the amazing work that they are doing.
Yes.
Yeah, and guys, that's it, man. Like, it's been awesome having you guys. Asanteni sana to everybody who was able to tune in to the Power Morning Drive Show. Let's do this again on Monday, same time, same place. At 11 a.m., Miss Mudhoni Gitao is coming with the She Talks show, so you want to stick around for that. But for me, Miss Ina Laziada, my panel tunaenda. Imagine it's time to go and enjoy our weekend. Meskia, mental health, we have to rest.
Ya maana.
Ni ya muhimu sana. We have to rest. So yeah, take care, guys, and have yourself a very fantastic weekend. And I'll see you on Monday from 8.